Welcome to Chain of Beauty. My name is David Bowman, and I'm going to take a few minutes and show you some of the pieces I have in my gallery and let you know what you're looking at when you look at the gallery. This first piece is called a Rondo alla Byzantine bracelet. It's sterling silver. It has a very nice and robust toggle clasp, which you can almost see around the back. The Rondo alla Byzantine is a great and just glamorous bracelet. This one's the most beautiful bracelet that I make. It contains rows of what's called the helm weave along the outside, and then interlocking units of the Byzantine weave going down the middle. This bracelet generally runs about 1.5 to 2 ounces of silver, but it's 3/4 of an inch wide, so it's very comfortable to wear. This particular piece is called the Yin's Pinned Linkage. That's the name of the weave, and here we see it featured in copper, silver plate, and brass. You'll notice I added a beautiful little accent in the middle, which is a Byzantine unit in silver. This next one is the bees and butterflies. Here we see fun little butterflies in brass surrounded by bees in silver, which is where it gets the name. It's a dainty little bracelet. It's great for casual and everyday wear. Now we're going to look at two bracelets that are quite a bit more substantial. I call these Byzantine ladders. What they are interlocking units of Byzantine that are linked along their outside edges. Here we see one in fuchsia with a silver center, and this next one actually has 3 different colors, and it has black along the outside, a lavender along the inside, and if you'll look carefully, you'll see those little silver accents running down both sides, just enough to catch the light and give it a bit of sparkle. Now, this next bracelet is woven in the Byzantine weave, and it's just a sweet, pretty little bracelet. Here we see it in a flashy metallic pink. Great for just those days when you don't want to be overly dressed up, but you do want something pretty on your wrist. That one's just pretty. Here is another bracelet in the same weave, the Byzantine weave, and we also see those pink rings again, but here it's got, I'm not exactly sure what color that is, to be honest, sort of a brownish purple, but together they make a very nice combination. Once again, we see the Byzantine weave here in black, but this one features little dangly sterling silver hearts coming off it, just something to glitter and flash and kind of move around on your wrist to catch the light. It's a very pretty piece. Now we're going to turn to a man's bracelet. This one is the box weave. That's the name of the weave, and here we see it in all copper. Now, like all copper, pure copper, this one will darken over time, and many people do prefer that. This is a fairly substantial bracelet, and I've got one just like it that I wear fairly regularly. It's just a great piece. Now we're turning to a weave called the Dragon Steps weave, and here I tried to do it in brass. Well, I did do it in brass and green, sort of scales and claws, because of the name, the Dragon Step weave. It's a very unique design, and you don't see it very often. Now let's go back to men's jewelry again. This one is the box weave again, but as you can see, it's quite a bit more dense than the previous one. It really makes a very solid band. Here it's in gold fill. Now, gold fill is far more substantial than gold plate, so this one will hold its beautiful look for a very long time. I can tumble it, I can polish it, and it's never going to lose that very heavy layer of gold on the outside. You are looking at 14 karat gold there. Alright, back to the ladies now. Here is a beautiful bracelet. I took 4 strands of the Byzantine weave and embedded within them some blue highlights to make some nice diagonal streaks. You also see it's got a nice clasp in sterling silver down there. This is a very fluid, very comfortable bracelet. Now we're going to look at several bracelets that also feature that Byzantine weave, but here I've put along the outsides 2 rows of carnelian, which is the red ruby color, and natural turquoise. sort of a very fun, whimsical, and colorful look. Here's the same bracelet, but instead of the turquoise and the carnelian, it has all silver beads down the outside. Very, very flashy bracelet, and looks great for just about any kind of wear. Now, the third one of that particular style is this one. Whereas the first one had turquoise and carnelian, this one is all carnelian. And that deep red color that you see along the outside looks great against the silver on the inside. This is a very beautiful bracelet. Now, for some of the most substantial bracelets, a lot of weight, good width, we go to the dragon scale weave, also known as the mermaid weave. You can actually look at this in two directions. If you look at it from one side, you're going to see a lot of gold like you see here. But if you look at it from the other direction, you're going to see more of a silver look, because this bracelet actually features two weaves. We have one set of rings going one direction, and on the inside you have a set of gold rings going the other direction, giving it that scale look, which is why it has that name dragon scale. It's a very stunning bracelet. Here's the same weave, a bit wider. This one is in that gunmetal bronze and silver again. This is definitely more of a man's bracelet. It's about 1.5 inches wide. Has a nice weight to it. It takes a very, very long time to make, but it's really stunning when it's done. Okay, now we turn our attention to what's called the Turkish weave. This is actually like the Byzantine, but it's a three-sided weave. Makes a nice rope with a very intricate look. I rarely see anybody make these because it is a fairly sophisticated weave to make, which means if you have one on your wrist, you're probably going to be the only person. This weave is called the Viper Basket. It sort of has a snake look to it, I suppose, is why it has that name. But this one features interlocking rings on the inside of silver and green, and a nice weave that captures all the pieces together going along the outside. Here's the same weave of bracelet, but this one's an all silver, so you can see that crisscrossing pattern of rings along the inside, and those nice loopy rings along the outside that hold it all together. The next bracelet is woven in a design called the half Persian 3-in-1, and it's a bit technical to go into, but basically what you see here is a series of rings that connect in a very nice rope-like fashion. It has kind of a flat profile to it. Here we have it in gold and silver. Now, earlier we saw a set of interlocking Byzantine chains. That's what we're looking at here. So here we have three interlocking chains, all in sterling silver. Has a very nice weight to it. It's very flexible. It's very comfortable. This one, now you see the close-up of it, so you can see really how much detail goes into this and exactly how many rings that the entire piece has. It's quite time-consuming to make, but it's definitely worth it because it's very beautiful. Now, because I like to mix up my weaves or combine them together, as you saw before, this one is sets of Byzantine weaves and what we call lover's knots or Mobius coils holding together, so it breaks it up very nicely between the round coils and the intricate weave of the Byzantine. So that was a bracelet. Here's the same design, but this one is in a necklace. I also put a much larger, heavier Mobius coil or lover's knot right in the middle of this. This bracelet can be made from any length, but the one you're looking at here I believe is 18 inches. It's a beautiful piece. Now back to the men again, although I suppose women would enjoy wearing this one also. This is that box weave again, and here we see it all in sterling silver. I've sold quite a few of these to men, and I will tell you it is a very flashy bracelet. Okay, there's the website again. I hope you'll stop by and see the entire gallery and the entire shop. This one, it looks very complicated to make, but the fact is it's a bit complicated to make. Here we see this. This is called the candy cane weave, and we're looking at it all in sterling silver. Interestingly, the other name for the candy cane weave is spirally goodness. I'm not exactly sure how that name was created, but that's its name, candy cane weave, or the spirally goodness, here in all sterling silver. It makes a nice round rope look to sit on the wrist. Now you're actually looking at my bracelet here. This one is woven in the full Persian weave, and it's in sterling silver. It is a beautiful piece. I wear this just about every single day, and certainly if I ever have to dress up, I wear this one. I don't wear a lot of jewelry myself. This is the only thing that I wear, and I'll tell you, it makes me feel very handsome to wear this bracelet. Here's a close-up look of it so you can see how the rings interlock with one another. Makes a nice rope. I sold these to women and to men both, but this is the one that I wear most commonly. Now, we saw another JPL or Yin's pin linkage earlier. This one is in sterling silver, and that accent in the middle is actually gold fill, so this one's quite a bit more glamorous. It's also a slightly larger weave than the one I showed you before, so it has a bit more substance to it. Now here it is again, but this time it's just the plain JPL without the accent on the outside. So those are the pieces I currently have in my gallery and a little bit of information about them. I hope you enjoyed looking at them. If you get a chance, I would encourage you to please stop by the gallery over at chainofbeauty.com. I'd love to have you stop by and ask questions and take a look at what I have. Thank you.